Welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name's Steve Benedictson. Thank y'all for joining me today as I go through today's daily reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. And I am looking forward to this one. Yesterday's was actually really, really great, and I'd have to apologize for yesterday's. I actually did that in a waiting room of a hospital because I was there for an appendectomy. Just to give you a little bit personal update about me. So I am doing better today, and things are going okay for me. So, and I am on the mend, and I'm glad to be back with you in a more appropriate circumstance, and I'm able to explain a little bit more about today's reading as we go through it. And I still believe, though, yesterday's was fantastic reading about serving love or serving self, and what happens when we do either one of them. So, and that last line it closed with, all men are essentially divine, though unaware of their divine nature, right? That's what we are a fallen people, but we can achieve that back. You know, like, we don't have to be okay with sinning. We can strive to purify our hearts, our minds, and our deeds, and it makes a difference. So I'm looking forward to today's and to see what that follows that one up with. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning I've not read it before reading it on this podcast with y'all. So this will be my genuine response, reactions, and observations about the reading and what I relate to. So here we go, May 18th of James Allen's Daily Meditations. All so-called evil is seen to be rooted in ignorance. Let it not be supposed that the children of the kingdom live in ease and indolence. These two sins are the first that have to be eradicated when the search for the kingdom is entered upon. They live in a peaceful activity. In fact, they only truly live for the life of self when its train of worries, griefs, and fears is not real life. They perform all their duties with the most scrupulous diligence, apart from the thoughts of self, and employ all their means as well as powers and faculties, which are greatly intensified, in building up the kingdom of righteousness in the hearts of others and in the world around them. This is their work, first by example, then by precept. Their sorrow no more, but live in perpetual gladness, for though they see the suffering in the world, they also see the final bliss and the eternal refuge. Whoever is ready may come now. Now that is a cool reading. I love that. Apart from the thoughts. I love that one. Okay, we'll go through it just line by line. All so-called evil is seen to be rooted in ignorance. And that's been a circumstance or a situation that's proven true in my life. That ignorance really is the unknowing, right? Not the lack of understanding or perspective, is the evil within us, right? Because we either don't know about our tendencies, we don't understand why we do things. There's a part of understanding that needs to happen first, and then there's action that can be taken. So the unknowing is a big part of this. Let it not be supposed that the children of the kingdom live in ease and indolence. These two sins are the first that have to be eradicated when the search for the kingdom is entered upon. Let it not be supposed that the children of the kingdom live in ease and indolence, right? The life isn't just like all easy. The life isn't a cakewalk, right? Like when we walk this way of life, life still happens. We still have surgery. We get emergency surgeries that happen. We still have people pass away in our lives, loss of jobs. We have significant life events happen to us, right? Like, it's not just that desire for an easy life is something we have to let go of, or expecting life to be always on our terms. They live in a peaceful activity. In fact, they only truly live for the life of self when its train of with its train of worries, griefs, and fears is not real life. So when we truly serve love, when we truly serve righteousness, and walk this spiritual life, we are actually truly living. We're a part of this whole world. We're a part of this. We're not trying to escape it or conform it and contort it to serve our own selfish ends anymore, right? And for the life of self, the life serving self, its train of worries, griefs, fears is not real life. You may think it's real because your emotions and what you feel like you're experiencing right now. But real life, reality is outside of that. Reality is much larger than that. That is your immediate experience. But reality is much, much more massive than that simple situation you're in. But everything, when you're serving yourself, seems hugely important because it affects us. Therein lies the problem. They perform all their duties with the most scrupulous diligence, apart from thoughts of self, and employ all their means, as well as powers and faculties, which are greatly intensified, in building up the kingdom of righteousness in the hearts of others and in the world around them. So it's the discipline, the dedication, the commitment to living this way of life, and not only living it, but showing others how to live it through our actions, right? We are meant to be a example from our actions. We don't need to necessarily preach. We don't need to be judgmental and talk down from a spiritual mountaintop, not at all. Our actions will show our intentions and our behaviors in our heart. We perform most scrupulous diligence apart from the thoughts of self and employ all their means. So we give everything to living this way of life, as well as powers and faculties, which are greatly intensified in building up the kingdom of righteousness in the hearts of others and in the world around them. So when we walk this way of life, our ability to impact people grows intensely. Our ability to impact the world grows immensely as well. Our ability to make an impact and change things opens up, truly, and for the right reasons. And we build this kingdom of righteousness in the hearts of others and the world around us. That's what we're supposed to do, through example and deed and action. As we purify our own hearts, thoughts, and actions, this is what will transpire in our community and the world if we keep doing this. This is their work, first by example, then by precept. So by lesson, by how we act, and the principle underneath it, right? These are guiding principles to walk through with our lives. People learn when we do these things. And when we do these things, they sorrow no more, but live in perpetual gladness. For, though they see the suffering in the world, they also see the final bliss and an eternal refuge. So there's a period of growth, and there's the sorrow and the suffering of life no longer intrude. Because yes, we see what happens in this world. We see what goes on. We see the pain that can occur, the suffering and sorrow, right? That's what the two words we just used here. But we live in a state of perpetual gladness. Not to discount what's actually happening, but because we have perspective and understanding. We can see the final bliss and eternal refuge. We know what's out there. We know where the direction we're taking. And that will let us live in eternal gladness. So it ends with this line: whosoever is ready may come now. That's an invitation, guys. That is a very large invitation to whoever wants to be invited, whoever wants to be a part of this. You can start living this way now. You can change your entire life starting this moment, today. This is in this exact second. And I would encourage you too, because the life that you'll find on the other side of doing this work is immense. It has depth and weight that you wouldn't even believe was available to you. It's a pretty amazing thing. So, well, that's where we'll end this today. Thank y'all for joining me. And again, I apologize for yesterday. I ask your forgiveness and your understanding for my circumstance and situation. But I'm glad I at least got the reading out to everyone that listens with a little bit of input. And so I apologize for the background noise that was there as well. So, but that is today's reading. Another fantastic one. Just these are all just power packed. This whole month's been just a powerful month to read through, and thank God for that. And thank God for these writings. Thank this universe, this spiritual realm was discovered. This path was communicated. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's again. And until next time, thanks.